Hi, and welcome to 3 o'clock with SOC. I'm Marisol Diaz, Communications and Digital Manager. Give me a moment while I welcome our Spanish-speaking residents. Buenas tardes, gracias por estar con nosotros hoy en 3 en punto con SOC. Si quieren oír este programa en español, favor de marcar el número que aparece en la pantalla, que es 646-749-3122, y la contraseña para entrar es 779-328-221. And just a reminder that you can access this show and previous shows on our Facebook page in the videos area and on YouTube. Now I'll pass it over to our moderator of the day, who will introduce today's topic.
Hi, everyone. Greetings. My name is Carlos Schmitz. I am the Data and Canvassing Coordinator for SOC, and I will be the moderator today at 3 o'clock with SOC. Today, we will be, another thing that everyone should know is there is a SOC survey, so please don't forget to do the SOC survey. And as you can see, I am not wearing a mask. And this is because everyone is working from home. So please don't forget to wear your mask whenever you go outside of your house to be safe in our community and to keep yourself safe. Also, a disclaimer, the views and opinions shared today do not necessarily reflect those views of SOC. So, today is Civic Day. It's also Indigenous People Day. So let's celebrate our Indigenous brothers and sisters. That's a really cool graphic. Thank you for sharing that. Our featured segment today is with Milwaukee Election Commission. Will be Milwaukee Election Commission updates with Jonathan Zuniga, Deputy Director of the Milwaukee Elections Commission. And then just a quick review of the rest of the week. Today is Civic Day. Tomorrow is Youth Day. So we'll be seeing the youth on our show. Wednesday is Spanish Day. Thursday, we have Leanna Yang, HAWA Director of Education and Outreach. And then on Friday, we have the Grassroots Organization and Leadership. So with that, and also a critical update from Tammy. So with that, I would like to introduce everyone to Jonathan Zuniga, the Deputy Director of the Milwaukee Election Commission. Hi, Jonathan. How you doing?
Hello, everyone. I can't hear you, Carlos, on my end. Can you hear me?
Gotcha. I can hear you, yes.
Okay, give me what? I'll maybe join through the Facebook here.
Okay.
Somehow. Join through the Facebook here.
Okay.
Somehow.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Well, I have it on my phone right now.
Okay. So let's work with that. See how that works. Hopefully, that will work. We're problem solvers here. Sometimes we got to. This is the kind of stuff we have to do. Okay.
I still.
Hello. Hi. I'm just going to quickly play a video, and we can come back to you in a few minutes once you can get that figured out for us. Is that all right? Just because there's a lag between StreamYard and Facebook, and you're going to be receiving our content at a later time.
And Marlene, I can actually hear you now, but I can't hear Carlos.
Interesting. Carlos, is your audio all the way up?
Let's see here. Okay. I am going to see test. Hello, hello. Yeah, it looks like my mic is all the way up.
Okay. So Carlos, you can try to figure that out, and we can come back to you, Jonathan, in like a few minutes, if that's okay.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so let's play the video.
It's important to stay healthy. So you know what's something that you can do at home that doesn't require you to be around a lot of people? You can take the census. And it doesn't matter if you're into politics or not. It doesn't matter what language you speak. No importa si no tiene papeles. If you live in the United States, you need to take the census.
Okay, but like, what is it? What is the census?
Here's how it works. Every 10 years, the government counts every single person living in the United States. This includes citizens, non-citizens, babies, abuelitas, literally everyone. If you haven't already, you will receive a notification in the mail from the U.S. Census Bureau, at which time you can fill out the census online. Even if you haven't gotten a notification, you can still fill out the census over the internet. Don't have internet? No problem. You can fill out the census by mail and over the phone. The best part of it is you don't have to leave your home.
What kind of questions do they ask?
The census asks basic questions like name, sex, age, race, or ethnicity, how many people live in your home, how they're related to one another, whether you rent or own, and that's pretty much it. Now, we get it. Nobody likes doing paperwork. Paperwork sucks. But you gotta remember, this paperwork takes 10 minutes to complete and will decide what happens to our neighborhoods for the next 10 years.
So why is it important for me to be counted?
Here are two reasons. It's important because it affects our political power. The House of Representatives has 435 seats. Because these seats are divided up by population, the census determines the number of seats your state gets in the House. After every census, adjustments are made. After the 2010 census, states like Texas gained 4 seats in the House, while states like New York and Ohio lost 2. The census not only affects the House of Representatives, but it reshapes the Electoral College. You know, the system that decides presidential elections. Census data is also used to redraw state and local legislative districts to better reflect shifting populations. So, you don't want to lose seats in the House of Representatives, and you don't want to lose your political power just because you decided to sit this one out. The census determines how public services in our communities get funded. The government uses the census to decide how much money should go to state and local governments. That money is then used to fund public services like schools, hospitals, roads, senior centers, and other public utilities. It's really hard for the government to plan where they should put schools and hospitals if they don't know how many people live in that neighborhood. Well, there have been instances where states do not get the funding for these vital services because they fail to meet the population requirement for certain federal funds. Take Circle Pines, Minnesota, for example. They were 82 people shy of the 5,000 population requirement to qualify for certain federal road funds. 82 people. The point is, if you don't make yourself counted, you're potentially losing money for your community, and the pothole down the street will never get fixed. The census will affect our political power. It will affect our elections. It will affect our daily lives for the next 10 years. That's the power of the census. And if we don't participate, we're putting our communities at risk.
So what you're saying is I can fill out the census, contribute to my community's political representation, financial future, and important demographic data for the next decade without ever having to leave my house?
Exactamente. So remember, wash your hands for 20 seconds, stay at home if you can, and make yourself counted in 2020. Because this is about the future of our families, our communities, and our country for the next 10 years.
Hello, Jonathan.
There.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
It's a surprise that I am interviewing you, but here we are.
No, it's all right.
So great that you are here today. We really appreciate you and your time, and thank you for being patient with all these technical difficulties.
No worries.
All right, thank you. So I'd like for you to kind of go ahead and introduce yourself and explain your role in the Election Commission.
Yeah, my name is Jonathan Zuniga. I am born and raised on the south side of Milwaukee. I went to Cagle Elementary, Lincoln Center of the Arts, Carmen High School, then UWM, And then I worked at Lane Boulevard West Neighbors. While I was in college, I actually volunteered with SOC and other, Youth in Power in the Struggle and Voces de la Frontera. So I now have this opportunity to be here at the Election Commission as the Deputy Director. And my job is really oversee the recruitment, staffing, and training of all of the poll workers, and all of the supplies, and everything needed at all of the polling locations for the elections, aside from some other roles in terms of campaign finance with elected officials and those people and the people who want to run for office as well.
That's amazing. Thank you for that explanation. Yeah. Can you give us an update on the Milwaukee election?
Yeah, so I think what I really wanted to put out there with the community is that the Election Commission, the City of Milwaukee Election Commission, we're offering 3 different ways for people to vote safely and effectively for the November general election. So elections Tuesday, November 3rd, that's election day. But people can request their absentee ballot right now. And they have various forms to do so. And I can get into it. I don't know if you want me to just go overview first, or do you want me to kind of explain each one first? But the first 3, the 3 ways people have to vote is absentee voting, early voting, which is absentee in-person voting, and on election day, November 3rd. And we've been working hard so that all those 3 ways are safe and effective for Milwaukee voters.
That's awesome. Yes, absolutely. I actually got my absentee ballot about a week ago and signed it in and sent it over. I've actually been advocating for my entire family to do it. So my dad, who was an immigrant, he came here, became a citizen, and he's never voted. He just never had the intention to vote. He, was not very politically aware of what's going on, especially because he speaks a second language. He has a hard time kind of understanding things. But I actually sat down with him and my mom and advocated for them both to, vote, and that it's important. So it makes changes within our communities on a greater level that we sometimes are not aware of.
Right.
Yeah. So sat down with them and took them to vote.com and got them to register to vote and to get their absentee ballot. And I do feel like that is a struggle that happens within homes that have, immigrant parents and first generation individuals. There's that gap there. And I feel like it is up to our generation to try to educate, our parents better on these types of topics.
Right. Yeah. It takes those, trusted voices, trusted people, the family member, the best friend, el compadre, la comadre, it takes those people that are out there that have that knowledge and that information to share with other people who may not be as engaged.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I wanted to, really stress out, you mentioned the myvote.wi.gov website. People can register to vote there. They can find their polling location and they can request their absentee ballot there. That's the easiest way, or not the fastest way to request an absentee ballot. They can also email us at absentee@milwaukee.gov with their name, their address, and the specific location of November general election, and their mailing address if it's different than their address. So again, they can email it to absentee@milwaukee.gov, that information requesting an absentee ballot. They can do it by mail, and they can even do it by fax too. But myvote.wi.gov is really easy for people to request their absentee ballot. If they're already registered, they can also register to vote there. They have until this October 14th, so this Wednesday, to register online at myvote.wi.gov. So that deadline is coming up soon.
And when is the deadline to get an absentee ballot?
October 29th at 5 p.m. That's that Thursday before the election.
Mm.
Okay. Once they get the ballot, you have with the ballot, there's bilingual instructions on how to complete the ballot. Most important, you can have a witness. You must have a witness to sign the envelope. So anyone can be a witness. Anyone who's over 18, who is a citizen, if it's your brother, your sister, anyone in the household can be your witness. And if you don't have a witness, we actually have at the libraries until Wednesday. We'll have them have people. We have people at every library from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. They could be your witness. You can take there or get help completing your absentee ballot if you need help. And so that's getting your witness. You have to sign. Your witness has to sign. Has to put their address of the witness. And then in order to return it, you can mail it, which right now, if people have requested their absentee ballot now, it's plenty of time for them to request it by mail. But we also have drop-off boxes, 15 drop-off boxes that are open 24/7, 24 hours, 7 days a week. And our staff follows procedure to pick up those ballots every day. So they get picked up daily. So that is another way that people who have already requested the ballot, they have completed, they have the witness, they can easily drop it off at one of these drop-off boxes.
And when should someone, when is like the last day that it's recommended to drop off your ballot in a mailbox so then it gets to the commission on time?
Right. So if they want to mail it, we recommend to do it before the 26th, before October 26th, so that we get it in time. So we need to have the absentee ballot by election day, Tuesday, November 3rd at 8 p.m. So that's why if people decide at home to mail it, please do so before the 26th. Mm-hmm. If they do it after the 26th, they can drop it off at the drop-off location on election day. It will be open. So they can drop it off up until 8 p.m. on election day.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that. Do we have a good amount of election workers, right now?
Yes. So fortunately, I think the experience that we all went through for the April spring primary, of just having 5 voting centers at that time, I think people really realized the need for poll workers, and we've been receiving hundreds of applications daily. We're up to probably in the 4,000 plus applications that we received, and so far we've had around 2,500 new election workers sign up for their training. Plus around 1,000 that are returning poll workers. So we are in good shape right now, and we will be opening 173 polling locations for Tuesday, November 3rd.
That's
173 out of 180.
That's so good. And where are those locations mainly going to be located?
So, they're all over the city. They're neighborhood. That's our part of kind of neighborhood-based voting. And the best way for people to find their polling site, they can do it at myvote.wi.gov. They can also do it at milwaukee.gov/414votes. That's our city website. And all of this information that I'm mentioning about drop-off locations and finding your polling site on election day can be found there. And that's a really easy way to find your polling location and also see a sample ballot of what you can expect at the polling site.
Okay. And how many polling places? Oh, you answered that already. How many absentee ballots has the commission received altogether?
So we requested as of this weekend, 120,000 people have requested an absentee ballot, and 50,000 have returned it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good. Is that kind of like an estimation of what you guys expected?
Yeah, I mean, I think we knew that people were going to request more absentee ballots this time around. We saw it for the August election, and now even more for November. So I think for those people who have requested their absentee ballot, or for those who haven't yet, please do so. There's very easy ways to do it. Like I mentioned, myvote.wi.gov. You can email us. You can mail us. You can come. You can request it. If you don't want to come out of your house, that's why you're voting absentee. You can request it that way. If you already have your absentee ballot, again, you can mail it back, or you can drop it off at one of the drop-off locations, or as well, the third way of or voting that I haven't talked about is the early voting, early in-person absentee voting, and that starts October 20th. Also, there's different locations around the city that you can go to milwaukee.gov/414votes, where people can go to any of these early voting sites and vote there, or drop off their absentee ballot if they have already the signatures there too at these sites.
Okay. And so what lessons have been learned from the April and August elections that were implemented in this one?
Yeah, I think, well, in terms of definitely my area, in terms of poll workers, making sure that we are able to train a new generation of poll workers. So that means adapting to virtual training, offering a couple of in-person training, updating our manual, working with also chief inspectors so they can work with the new poll workers that are coming in. So I think since then, the Election Commission has been preparing for August and now November. And I recently started in July too, so I had to quickly catch up and quickly get things going with our poll workers. Marlene, I think you're muted.
Well, I said thank you for all that information. So how has it been doing this work during the pandemic?
It's definitely adds challenges. Again, with training, it's a much better having people in person. But at the same time, when you're trying to train 2,500 people, it's also a little bit easier to do it virtual. But either, we're trying to make the polling locations on election day as safe as possible. So adding, plexiglass to the registration and the check-in tables, providing face shields and masks for all of our poll workers, providing masks for voters who may come in without a mask, who forgot it or something, providing, all the PPE equipment like hand sanitizer, surface disinfectant, plenty of pens so that people can just use their own pen. So it's definitely makes it more challenging. But again, with August having that experience, we're better prepared now for November.
Yeah. Do you feel because of the pandemic, there's going to be a decreased amount of individuals that come in to vote?
Well, I think that's why we're trying to get people to request their absentee ballot, and if they request it, to return it before election day. So I think it depends on that, and people, should feel that their absentee ballot will be counted, and that vote will matter. And I think some people also just prefer to do it on election day and just want that security, and that's why we have recruited poll workers, have provided all this PPE equipment, so that in that case they can feel comfortable going to the polling location.
Of course. And will the polling locations be, located in very diverse minority population zip codes? Because that's been an issue in the past. So how is that going to be resolved?
Yeah, I mean, it's 173 out of our usual 180. So mostly all of the regular polling locations are open. So they're all neighborhood based. So it's really in every neighborhood, every aldermanic district, you can find a polling location nearby.
That's really good. That's definitely needed. You know, we don't want anyone to not have an opportunity to vote. And so, you know, you have two ways of doing it. You have the absentee ballot direction, and you can go in person and vote. And from what Jonathan has told us, you seem like everyone seems like they're in good hands. You've got lots of PPE equipment, and you know, social distancing, not CDC guidelines will be implemented. So it was really good getting all of this information from you, Jonathan. Is there anything else you would like to add on before we conclude?
Just reminding people again, absentee voting, early in-person absentee voting, voting on election day. Voter registration online deadline is this Wednesday, but people can still register to vote at our offices here in City Hall, or at any of the early voting sites, or on election day.
Okay.
So just because the online deadline is this Wednesday doesn't mean that I'll have other opportunities to still register to vote. And all of this information is at milwaukee.gov/414votes.
Quickly, we have a question here from Esperanza Gutierrez for you. She's asking, I have a family member that turns 18 on November 3rd. Can he pre-register to vote?
Yes, he can. The form, I don't have it here with me, but he can, if he has the answer is yes.
Okay. And can he can definitely pre-register online through myvote.wisconsin.gov?
He needs an ID. State ID, anybody with a state ID or a Wisconsin driver's license can register online.
Okay. All right. So Esperanza, he has to get an ID, and then he should be good to go.
Or he can, come over to here at the City Hall, 5th floor, 200 East Wall Street, or at any early in-person voting.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for being so patient.
No, thank you for everyone. If they have any questions, our number is 414-286-3491. So if anybody out there has questions, give us a call.
You said 414-286-2491?
3491.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. We're putting that in the comments section right now so everybody can have access to it. But yeah, we will see you maybe later on after the election to kind of give us an update on how it went.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much. Okay. So that being said, let's just give some quick hellos from today. Hi, Charlie, and hi, Esperanza. Oh, Esperanza had a question at the end. I'm so sorry, Esperanza. I did not see that. She said, would a passport be an ID? I believe that you need a state ID. It has to be something that comes from your state. So a passport is on like a national level. A state ID would be best. So you would go to the DMV, your local DMV. There's one on Chase, and you can get a state ID from there. That's just my hunch. Wait, Jonathan is still here. Let me just quickly put him on, and then he can answer your question. All right, hey.
So if a passport can be used as photo ID at an early voting site or here at our office on election day. Just online, you have to have a state or Wisconsin ID or Wisconsin driver's license. But a passport can be used as photo ID when you register to vote here at our offices or at a early in person or on election day at their polling location.
Okay, awesome. I should not have spoken for you. But thank you for clarifying.
No worries.
Thanks. All right, so now we're going to give you guys a quick coronavirus update, and then we will have one of our guests on. Hello, everyone, and welcome to 3 o'clock with SOC. My name is Marlene Zaran, and I am your COVID-19 project coordinator today. So just wanted to say that it's almost Halloween, and it's almost Dia de los Muertos as well. For Halloween this year, it's going to be on October 30th, and I suggest that everyone, celebrates in their own way while maintaining social distancing. So that being said, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services has recommended against door-to-door trick-or-treating this year. They state that even though being outside decreases the risk, being in close contact with people you don't live with increases the risk of spreading and contracting COVID-19. Also, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, also stated that traditional trick-or-treating, where treats are handed to children who go door-to-door, is a higher risk activity that should be avoided this year. Now that I said all of those things, I want to give you guys an idea of what you can do while Halloween is present this year. Some lower risk activities that are safe alternatives include the following: carving or decorating pumpkins with members of your household and displaying them, carving or decorating pumpkins outside at a safe distance with neighbors or friends, decorating your house, apartment, or living space, doing a Halloween scavenger hunt where children are given lists of Halloween-themed things to look for while they walk around outdoors from house to house, admiring Halloween decorations at a distance, having a virtual Halloween costume contest, having a Halloween movie night with people you live with, and having a scavenger hunt style trick-or-treat search with your household members in or around your home rather than going house to house. Thank you so much for listening today, and I will have more activities and updates for you guys on Halloween and trick-or-treating and Dia de los Muertos, as well as Thanksgiving that is coming up. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day. All right, and now for a quick civic update, yes.
Hello, Wisconsin. It's your favorite son, Karan Butler, aka Tough Juice. Voting is easy, but first you have to make sure you're registered. We've got you covered on the do's and don'ts of voting in Wisconsin. Do register to vote by October 21st. Here's how you register online. If you have a Wisconsin driver's license or a state ID card, visit myvote.wi.gov now to register. It takes less than 5 minutes. That's it. Just make sure to do it before October 21st deadline. Here's how you register offline. If you do not have a driver's license, register in person at the municipal clerk's office. All you need is the last 4 digits of your social security number and proof of residency. Proof of residence examples include a bank statement, an employee ID, a pay stub, an apartment lease, a utility bill, or a college ID with documentation that you reside on campus. In-person registration at the municipal clerk's office is available until 5 p.m. on October 30th. Wisconsin allows registration on Election Day. Just bring your completed voter registration form and proof of residency to your polling location. Do decide how you're going to vote.
You have 3 options.
1, in person on Election Day. Look up your designated polling location on the My Vote Wisconsin website. 2, by mail. The Wisconsin Elections Commission sent absentee ballot request forms to all registered voters on September 1st. If you still need one, fill out an absentee ballot application on the My Vote Wisconsin website. The deadline to request the absentee ballot is 5 p.m. on October 29th.
Number 3, in-person absentee. In Wisconsin, you can vote early through a process called in-person absentee voting at your local municipal clerk's office or another designated location from October 20th to November 1st. Here's how. Step 1. At the municipal clerk's office, apply for absentee ballot in person. Step 2, remember to bring a valid ID for voting. If you need to update your registration, bring a utility bill, a bank statement, or valid proof of residency. And step 3, complete your absentee ballot by following the clerk's instructions.
Do get a witness signature on your absentee ballot. Wisconsin requires a witness or a notarized signature for absentee voting. Get a family member or friend to sign your absentee ballot. Do return your completed absentee ballot. Absentee ballots must be postmarked by November 3rd and received by November 9th to be counted. But do it early. If you prefer, you can always drop off your ballot with the municipal clerk. Don't send in your absentee ballot if you make a mistake. Mistakes happen. If you fill in the wrong bubble for a candidate, contact the municipal clerk's office right away and request a new ballot. In Wisconsin, you can make up to 3 requests for a new ballot. Don't forget to bring a photo ID on Election Day. Wisconsin has strict voter ID laws. On Election Day, voters must bring an acceptable photo ID. Acceptable photo IDs for voting include a driver's license, a state ID card, a military ID, a passport, a tribal ID card, certificate of naturalization, Veteran Affairs ID. Only 4 schools in the universities of Wisconsin system issue student ID cards that are compliant with the voter ID law. However, all schools in the system will issue a voter ID on request. Don't leave when the polls close. Election Day is November 3rd. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. As long as you're in line by 8 p.m., you have the right to vote. Do not leave if you're in line until you get your vote counted. We all count. Make a difference.
All right, everyone. Thank you for that Civic video. That was really engaging. And now I would like to introduce Joanna Jimenez on our show. She's going to talk to us about foreclosure resources and forbearance assistance. She is from the Urban Economic Development Association of Wisconsin, or UEDA for short. Hello, Joanna. Can you unmute your... Thank you.
Hi, Marlene. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being a little patient. We are over the scheduled time, but let's get right to it. So can you introduce yourself and your position?
Sure. Joanna Jimenez from Take Root Milwaukee under the Urban Economic Development Association.
Awesome. And can you tell us about the services or resources you have to offer to the community?
Sure. So Take Root Milwaukee is a membership consortium. It is comprised of over 50 organizations and professionals, also the city of Milwaukee, that are putting together trusted resources to help people buy, keep, or fix a home. And so today I'll be talking more about the keep. So our members do a lot of outreach and on foreclosure prevention. We obviously want homeowners to stay in their homes and not lose their homes to mortgage or tax foreclosures.
Awesome. So what can someone do in a situation where they need your foreclosure resources? Can they just contact you, and what are the steps that they need to take?
Okay. So I would say first go to our website, takerootmilwaukee.com, and there's a section just for KEEP, for the foreclosure prevention. We have the connections to the resources. So we don't, provide the services ourselves, but we connect you to organizations and resources that can help you prevent foreclosure. So there's tax foreclosure. That's when obviously you're not paying your taxes and the city can foreclose on your house. So due to COVID-19 and the status of the economy, the city has put in place new things for people to be able to make those tax payments. And so the important thing is to first call the treasurer's office. When you get that bill, if you have a question, if you have doubts, again, go to takerootmilwaukee.com and contact one of our nonprofits that should be able to help you navigate through that. HRI, or Housing Resources Incorporated, is one of the HUD-approved counseling agencies that can walk you through a foreclosure prevention process. Also, Green Path Financial Wellness. They're also an organization that can help you go through that process, right? So that you're not doing it alone, and they can connect you to the best resources to solve the issues. The mortgage foreclosure, we recommend that people reach out to their service providers right away. If they are in need of forbearance, if they, cannot make those payments and need to make other arrangements, please call the person who the organization that you pay your mortgage to. That way you can set things in motion that will help you just to at least not face foreclosure.
All right. Thank you so much for that information. Do you mind if we share your contact information?
No, not at all.
All right, so we're going to be putting in Joanna's email address. So if you all have any questions, you can definitely reach out to her if you need any help and you need in contact with some of these resources. We also have put in some of the links that Joanna has shared with us, and we put those in the comments section, so you can go ahead and take a look at those. We have takerootmilwaukee.com and hri.wisconsin.org/homeowner/mortgage assistance. And we have a couple of more on their way.
If I could just touch on that mortgage assistance real quick. So Milwaukee County received CARES Act funding, and Housing Resources Incorporated is the nonprofit that's administering that help. So if you have been economically impacted by COVID-19 and you have not been able to make your payments, you need help with those payments to, again, avoid foreclosure, please contact that website. There's a pre-application process, but you can get help for up to 6 months of mortgage payments. And this is Milwaukee County wide. So it's not just the city of Milwaukee. So again, they have counselors available as well to walk you through whatever your situation is, again, to avoid you having to lose your home. So contact them. We do have a hotline for Take Root Milwaukee that you can call, or contact me through the website. And like Marlene said, my email will be available as well. I can connect you to the organization that you need help with. And these organizations also have bilingual workers. So just so you know that, and our information on our website is in Spanish and English as well.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Joanna. We'd love to have you on again so you can give us some updates.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, everyone. So that being said, I'd just like to go in again and see if there are any hellos, any new comments. Seems like there isn't, but I'd love for everyone who is currently watching to give us a hello, put in your favorite emoji. That would be really good. We love to know who our current viewers are. And now I'm going to introduce our one of our producers, Marisol, who's going to tell you guys a little bit about our SOC survey promo.
Has this live forum been informative and useful to you? What part of the forum could be improved or changed to make it better? Please take a quick survey that's located in the comments section so that we can keep 3 o'clock with SOC going for residents. Thank you for tuning in.
All right. So for you guys watching, I would love if you all can quickly complete that survey. We are putting the survey in the comment section. And then now for some quick reminders. So for the rest of the week, we have on Tuesday, we have the Youth Day. Wednesday, we have the Spanish Day. Thursday, we have Liana Yang from HAWA, the Director of Education and Outreach. And Friday, we have our grassroots organizing and leadership team. I wanted to quickly say that we are in solidarity with protesters, and our thoughts and prayers do go out to those that have been affected by COVID-19 and those who have experienced the illness or family or friends that have passed away due to COVID-19. Our prayers go out to you from SOC and our SOC coworkers. And now I would like to just tell you all to have a good rest of your day. It is only the beginning of the week, so think positively and move forwards with all of your obstacles in life. Everything will be okay with COVID-19 happening. And now some quick funder partner thank yous.
I'm Juan. And I'm Mitzi. We would like to thank everyone for supporting our 3 o'clock with SOC live show. And for completing our SOC survey. In addition to thanking our residents and tuning in and sharing our show. We would also like to thank our sponsors. Catholic Campaign for Human Development. Wisconsin Voices. City Development Block Grant. Zebler Foundation. City of Milwaukee Office of Violence Prevention. Movement Voter Project. Tide Foundation. City of Milwaukee Promise Zone. 12th District Alderman Jose Perez. All the faithful individuals who support SOC through their personal donations. Thank you.